All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out the purple cards from OP07. Last video, we checked out the blue cards, which looked really amazing. And before that, we checked out green. Definitely check out those videos if you have not checked them out already. Some really good stuff coming from green and blue. Red was okay looking, but blue and green just looked absolutely solid. So let's go ahead and check out purple. That's what today's video is going to be about, guys. OP07 purple card review. Spoilers, if you don't want to see these cards yet, now's your chance to back out. We're going to be looking at OP07 spoilers that aren't going to be coming out in the West for probably like 4 months or so. So, okay, let's go ahead and dive into it, guys. Without any further ado, here we go. So first up, we're going to look at the leader. This is the purple leader, Foxy. He is a 5-life, 5,000 power, purple Foxy Pirates type leader with effect. When attacking, Dawn -3. Dawn -3 when attacking. Yikes, here we go. If you have 3 or more Foxy Pirates type characters, select your opponent's rested leader and up to 1 character card. The selected cards will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Okay, so I'm assuming with this character there's going to be some type of ramping going on to mitigate that Dawn -3 and some type of way to fill out the board to get to 3 or more Foxy Pirates type characters, because otherwise you can't even use this effect. So I'm assuming it's going to have some type of way to flood the board and replenish Dawn, because you see what's going on here, and you can only even target a rested leader and up to 1 character card, and those won't become active in your next refresh phase. So I will say this. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of support in this deck, or excuse me, not in this deck, in this set for this, for this leader. But we'll have to see. It's going to have to be quite a bit for this to work. Because on face value, just face value, not looking at any other cards in the set, I haven't done any sneak peek on the other cards. This is like a 3 out of 10 effect by itself. But let's see what kind of support it can get to give it, a higher rating, so to speak. Okay, all right. So let's see what it gets. Okay, here's the alt art version. No comment. No comment. All right. Next up, we have Ito Mimizu. This is a 3-cost, 0 power, 1,000 counter Foxy Pirates type character with activate main once per turn. If your leader has the Foxy Pirates type and you have no other Ito Mimizu, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay, and this is not a card that attacks. Notice that this is like, you don't have to rest the card to do this. If your leader has this and you have no other. Okay, so he can only do it for himself, right? Like, you can't have like a bunch of these out at one time. You can activate this once per turn. And if you have no other version of this card out, you can add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So there you go. Already the ramp I was talking about. Because, I mean, just to justify this leader's effect, Dawn -3, there has to be some kind of ramp involved and ways to keep characters on the board that can have effects without having to attack. And so far, so good. This guy, Ito Mimizu, okay, solid. I'm just going to give him a 5 out of 10 because he can't attack or anything. He's just a Dawn ramp type of machine. But he does have a 1K counter. So after you have your 1 down, you can keep it in your hand for a while and use it as a 1K counter later in the game in case they remove the one you have. So I'll give this a 5 out of 10. This is solid for what we're trying to do in the deck. Next up, we have Vinsmoke Sanji. Okay, we got Sanji here. This is a 1-cost, 0 power, 1,000 counter. How are they going to do that to my guy Sanji? How are they going to give Sanji 0 power? Oh, man. Come on now. Kingdom of Germa, the Vinsmoke family type character. And I get it. It's a 1-cost card. I'm just kind of messing, guys. I'm just kind of messing around. But the effect is, on play, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Vinsmoke family type, draw 1 card. Okay, so that's pretty solid, though. Actually, in all reality, that's actually a pretty solid little effect. You're going to unplay Dawn -1 to draw a card. And that will also draw a card with Reiju, if I'm not mistaken. And someone else, correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong, but, excuse me, if I remember correctly, whenever Vinsmoke Judge grabs cards, when he on-plays, he'd probably be able to grab this card. I mean, there's probably going to be better targets, but you guys get my point. Nice little draw card effect. Okay, next up we have Vinsmoke Reiju. This is a 1-cost, 2,000 power, Kingdom of Germa, Vinsmoke family type character. With on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field, or on your opponent's field, return up to one of your Vinsmoke family type characters with a cost of 1 to the owner's hand. Sorry guys, I didn't give Sanji a rating. Did I? Yeah, I gave him a 5 out of 10. I'll give the Sanji card a 5 out of 10 too. It's just a 1-cost draw card effect, basically, with a counter. Just a 5 out of 10. But the Vinsmoke Reiju here, what are we trying to do with this? If the number, okay, if you have equal or less Dawn on your field than your opponent, return up to one of your Vinsmoke family type characters with a cost of 1 to the owner's hand. Maybe we'll see a card that this is going to help, but y'all going to have to tell me what's going on in the comment section below about this one. I don't quite get what's going on here. If I think of something, I'll say it. But as is, I guess I'll just give it a 5 out of 10 because I don't even know what you're trying to do with this. Like, okay, you play this down. Return up to 1. So do you just play this to return it? I don't know. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of on your opponent's field, return up to one of your Vinsmoke family type characters with a cost of 1. So that's literally Sanji and Reiju, right? And I think maybe, what was the other character's name? Sora or something like that? I don't know. Y'all help me out in the comment section below on this one. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, next up we have Capote. This is a 3-cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, Fishman, Foxy Pirates type card, or character card, with the effect of on play, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Foxy Pirates type, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's pretty nice. It is a little understated as a 3-cost 4K with a 1K counter. It's Fishman and Foxy Pirates type, but your leader has to be Foxy Pirates type to get this effect. That seems kind of weird how they would do that. But yeah, for 3, you play this, and now that card that costs 6 or less cannot attack until the next turn. Pretty solid. I'll give this a 6 out of 10. You know, this is solid. Oh, man. There's Sanji. Look at that. So we got Sanji here. 6 cost, 6,000 power, 2,000 counter, Straw Hat Crew. They didn't give him the Germa 66 stuff. That is so unfortunate. And I do know, I get it. Like, he, like, backed out on his family kind of thing. I do know that much about the lore. And don't worry, I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent here. But, like, it says 66 on his on his headphone things. It's part of that whole clique, you know. It's part of that whole family stuff going on there. I don't know. I wish they had given him that just for the sake of like searchability in the game itself. Because this is him kind of embracing his origins. Like, I don't know how people feel about that, or y'all tell me maybe I'm way off. I do feel like it's him, like, because he doesn't want to do it, right? Sorry, spoilers on spoilers on spoilers here, guys. I'm sorry, but let me not even get into it. I'm just going to say this. I wish they had made this card Straw Hat Crew, Germa 66, just for the sake of searchability within the Germa 66 Reiju Vinsmoke family deck. And maybe make him Vinsmoke family as well. Okay, so anyway, let's see what it does. It's a 6-cost, 6,000 power card with a 2K counter. I'm very, very happy with that stat line. Like, that is a very attractive stat line. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is at least 2 less than the number on your opponent's field, give this card in your hand -3 cost, and then it has blocker. Okay, guys, this card is absolutely solid. This is basically going to be a 3-cost 6K and a 2K counter when you need it, and it has blocker. Because the way that this is going to work is, you see, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is at least 2 less than the number on your opponent's field, give this card in your hand -3 cost. This card is going to be absolutely incredible, I think, in Red-Purple Law. Now, just to clarify, at the time of me recording this, we don't know what the official ruling is just yet on this Sanji. You're probably not going to be able to cheat it out from your hand using the leader's effect, even if you are 2 below your opponent. But why would you, right? The logic is this will cost 3. So if you're trying to get this card out for the turn, you would play this for 3, and then you would Dawn -3 to play out a 4 cost from your hand. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully that made sense. But whatever the case is, this card seems absolutely incredible. It's a 2K counter, 6K blocker body that's potentially going to only cost 3. Outstanding. This card is excellent. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I really like this card. And purple's not even one of my colors. Just incredible. Okay, we got the parallel alt art version for it. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I love this one though. Like his stance here, everything about this pose just screams dominance, and he's just elite, right? I'm a big fan of this, and that collar, the way that collar is, whew, that's fire. But this, not as big a fan of. It still looks cool, but I'm not as big a fan of this one. Okay, next up we got Gina. This is a 1 cost, 0 power. I got to pick up the pace, guys. I'm sorry, I start rambling. This is a 1 cost, 0 power, 2000 counter, Foxy Pirates type character. Okay, now we're back to Foxy Pirates. Here we go. On play, if your leader has the Foxy Pirates type and the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number of number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, so here's a nice cheap 2K counter utility card for Foxy Pirates. You're going to be able to play this out, ramp Dawn, potentially if you need to, and it's a 2K counter in hand, like I said. And this is a card just like the one we looked at. Where's the one guy? Ito Mimizu. It's just like this card where it can just sit on the field, and you just need it on the field to turn on your leader's effect, right? So that is very nice. Okay, let's keep going. I'll give this card just a nice 7 out of 10 because it's a 2K counter with that kind of utility, potentially ramping you a Dawn and whatnot. Next up, we have Tony Chopper. This is a 2 cost, 0 power, 1K counter blocker. That's very nice. That's very nice already. A very cheap blocker. On play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay, this is solid. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. This is a very solid card. It's not going to like win you a game. Well, I guess it could potentially win you a game if you just needed a blocker and they don't have removal. But realistically, it's not there to win you the game. It's just there to help you progress into the later stages of the game. Does that make sense? This is just a solid card. 2 cost, 0 power blocker with a 1K counter and an on play that can potentially ramp you Dawn. Really nice. I'll give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's just absolutely solid. Excuse me. Next up, we have a 1 cost, 3000 power, 1000 counter, long ring, long land type character named Tanjit. This is just a 5 out of 10 for me. It's just a vanilla 1 cost 3K. Okay, next up we have Hamburg. This is a 5 cost, 6000 power, 1000 counter character, Foxy Pirates type, with the effect of Dawn times 1 when attacking. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So here we go. I guess I was able to predict the way that the leader was going to be, or not how the leader was going to be, excuse me, how the cards were going to be based around the leader. Because anytime, excuse me, they found out the hard way with Z, right? Zephyr just was like, it had more than one problem, obviously. First of all, it only had 4 life with what it was trying to do in a very aggressive format back when Red was absolutely dominant. But with Foxy Pirates, with Z, you were losing Dawn too quickly. But with Foxy Pirates, they're clearly not messing around with that. Where it's like, okay, if you're going to have ways to gain Dawn. Even their 2K counter is going to allow you to gain back some Dawn. Same thing with Tony Chopper. It's too bad this is locked to Foxy Pirates, because I feel like this is just I'm fine with the type being Foxy Pirates, but I wish the effect was not Foxy Pirates only, because then it just becomes like this incredibly versatile 2K counter for anything purple. But who knows? Maybe that'd be too strong. Whoops. So Hamburg, I think this card's great. They're not going to take any chances with being able to generate Dawn in this Foxy deck. And this is a 5 cost 6K with a 1K counter. It's statted well, everything about it. And if it stays on the board, it's just going to keep generating you Dawn, so you can keep using your leader's effect as much as possible. Solid card, nothing special. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Okay, next up is Pickles. We got a 3 cost, 4000 power, 1000 counter, Foxy Pirates type. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, your Foxy Pirates type characters other than Pickles cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. Okay, so here's a little bit of survivability, so you can keep all those characters on the board. And all you have to do is have less Dawn on your field than your opponent, equal to or less Dawn than your opponent. So even if y'all are both at 10, you're fine, right? Because you'll have equal to the number of Dawn on your opponent's field. Now, he will still be able to be KO'd, obviously. This is kind of like that Luffy effect we looked at in the green, in the video talking about the green cards. Definitely check that out if you get a chance. But that's kind of what's going on here too. Solid card. I'm only gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10 though, because it's nothing crazy. It just helps keep the deck functioning, right? It's gonna help the deck function. It does not get around bottom deck effects. It does not get around trash effects like the 6-cost Brook and any kind of bounce effects. But it does get around like Rob Lucci, so that is solid. All right, next up we got Big Gun. All right, this is a 6-cost, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter, giant Fishman Foxy Pirates type character with the effect of on play if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field. Play up to 1 Foxy Pirates type card with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. Okay, this card is massive. It's a 6-cost 7K with a 1K counter. Like, that's actually surprising. I'm surprised it had that part on there. But hey, that's incredible. And then it's going to be able to, if you have equal to or less Dawn on your opponent, you're going to be able to drop down a 4-cost or less Foxy Pirate type card. I'm going to give this like an 8.5 out of 10. Because this is helping you ramp. It's establishing bodies to allow you to use your leader's effect. Because remember, I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of this video. I can't remember now. But ways to ramp and ways to fill up the board is what this leader needs to function. So that's what this is. You know, this is everything all in one. I guess it doesn't technically like ramp you Dawn, but it could potentially with the card you play out. So just excellent. 8.5 out of 10. Solid. Next up, we got Foxy. This is a 7-cost, 7,000 power Foxy Pirates type character. With opponent's turn, if your leader has Foxy Pirates type, give all of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power. Okay, wow. Okay, imagine stacking these up. If you put down a few of these where your opponent starts losing like 1,000 power here, 3,000 power just from having these on the board, whew, that ends up being crazy. And then activate main, once per turn, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. And this is just an on opponent's turn effect here, guys. Like you can just not swing with this guy and you have this effect. This card's crazy. This card is absolutely cracked. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 with it. I want to go 8.5 out of 10. It does not have a counter, obviously, because it's a 7-cost 7K. I say obviously, you know, y'all know what I mean. But that effect is just pure lockdown, right? Like this effect equals, you know, it's like a math problem. This effect equals lockdown. Just awesome. Super, super powerful. It's a 7K body. It's dropping all your opponent's characters down by 1,000 for each one you have out. And then you're going to be able to ramp Dawn. Just use your... Yeah. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 with this card. I think this card's absolutely incredible. And look at the alt art. Wow, that alt art is just incredible. Just crazy. Really good alt art. Looks really good. Okay, next up we have Porsche. I don't think it's Porsche. I think it's Porsche, right? Like the car. Could be wrong because there's like a C in there. Y'all tell me. But this is a 3-cost, 5,000 power Foxy Pirates type character. On play, Dawn -1. It's only on play. Dawn -1. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Foxy Pirates type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And play up to 1 purple character card with 4,000 power or less from your hand. So there you go. You know, everyone's getting the I'm going to have to make an entire video on this now, guys. I'm going to have to make an entire video on this now, talking about class identity and how, okay, if you haven't looked at my video on the blue cards for this set, you need to check that out. But I'm about to mention in there how, okay, I already talked about it in there how like, oh, wow, now Dopey's going to be able to fill up the board like how Film does. Film fills out the board. Blue Dopey's going to be able to fill out the board. Now Purple's going to be able to fill out the board too. I don't know. It's and like, by the way, now Black can fill out the board as well, like through like Gecko Moria, Rebecca shenanigans. Losing a little bit of class identity. Losing a little bit of identity here. But this card is incredible. It goes right along with the leader effect. I'm going to give this card a 9 out of 10 because it's absolutely insane. You're going to put this into play. It's a 3-cost 5K, so it's right. It doesn't have a counter. It was a 3-cost 5K, so it's right on curve. It's going to do a top 5 search and then also play a card from your hand. So you'll be able to play the card you drew from that search, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because it says then place the rest of the bottom of the deck in the order and play up to 1 purple character card with 4,000 power or less from your hand, if you were able to get a 4,000 power or less card, obviously. 9 out of 10. Card's crazy. Card's incredible. Okay, nice. And the alt art looks excellent. Really nice alt art. Big fan of that. Okay, next up we got Monkey D. Luffy. This is a 6-cost, 7,000 power Straw Hat Crew type character with Activate Main. Once per turn, Dawn -3. Okay, if your opponent has 3 or more characters, set this character as active. Okay, so smash for 7, return 3 Dawn, smash for 7 more if your opponent has 3 or more characters. This is just a good card. I don't think this one's like especially crazy or anything. I think it's very nice. It's going to help you, you know, excuse me. I think this is going to, you know, help you fight for board, especially if they start taking over. Solid card. Probably just like a 2 of in a deck. Yeah, I couldn't imagine you running more than 2 of these in the deck, like just for the way, you know, balance is. It doesn't have the, you know, it's a Straw Hat Crew type. So I don't even know if this would even go in like a Foxy Pirates type of deck where you could really utilize that Dawn -3, but we'll have to see. It's not a bad card. I'm just going to give it like a 7 out of 10 because you can kind of pop off with this card if you need to. You know, swinging 7 at face twice is no laughing matter, but you guys see what I'm saying. Okay. Like I said, I'll give this like I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, next up we have Manda. This is a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 1,000 counter, animal Foxy Pirates type character. With Activate Main, you may trash this character. If your leader has the Foxy Pirates type, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay. You do have to trash this character. I'm gonna go 5 out of 10 with this because you can also play as like a 2-cost 3K with a 1K counter, just like almost like a vanilla body with added utility, and you only lose 1,000 counter for the added utility. So I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not like, you know, head over heels for that card, but I don't think it's bad. Okay, next up we have Slow Beam. This is a 1-cost purple Foxy Pirates type event. Counter, Dawn -1. Give up to one of your opponent's leader and character cards -2,000 power during this turn. Okay, wow. So counter, Dawn -1. You're going to pay 1, and then you're just going to return the Dawn you used that you played it with. And you're going to give up to 1. Give up to 1 each of your opponent's leader and character card -2,000 power during this turn. That's massive. That's a 1-cost -4K. That's a 1-cost 4K. This is like Purple's Rad Beam. It's like a souped up Hell's Judgment. Well, not souped up, but it's like a, how would you say? It's like a cheaper version of Hell's Judgment, I guess. This is awesome. I'm gonna give this like a 9 out of 10 because for 1 Dawn and you're gonna return 1 Dawn. A character and a leader get -2,000 each for the turn. So you're going to stop the attack coming your way, and then another attack that hasn't even happened yet. Yeah, or at least like severely hindered. I think this. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Maybe not 9, but 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Really solid card. Next up, we have Slow Beam Sword. So we have Slow Beam, and then Slow Beam Sword. Slow Beam Sword is a Foxy Pirates type counter with Dawn -1. Okay, this is another Dawn -1. Up to one of your leader or character cards gains +2,000 power during this battle, excuse me. Then rest up to one of your opponent's characters. No cost restriction. So they swing at you. You go, okay, pay 2 and return 1 Dawn. This leader or character gains +2,000 power during this battle, and then the rest of, and then I'm going to rest one of my opponent's characters. It can't hit the leader. It cannot hit the leader, but it can hit a character. Did this one have? This one did not have a trigger. Okay, this one at least has a trigger. The Beam Sword. This one has add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, this is pretty solid. Let's see. What would I give this? It's a 2-cost +2K, but it can rest any character. Like if there's a character that hasn't swung yet. I give it a 7 out of 10. I actually think this one's better, the Slow Beam, because it has the added utility of being able to hit a character and a leader. So that actually can go a long way. Whereas this one, if they swung with a character and they only have a leader left, well, you can't rest anything. Oh man, I gotta shave this mustache, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, next up, we're gonna claim the One Piece. This is a 1-cost purple 4 Emperors Land of Wano type event with effect main. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type, this is a purple card, by the way. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so that's pretty good. 1-cost top 5 search for Animal Kingdom Pirates and Big Mom Pirates. And notice they didn't have to add to it other than this card, because it's not one of those cards. It's a For Emperor's Land of Wano type card. So they didn't even have to add that extra clause, which is interesting. And then trigger, you can activate this card's main effect. Yeah, seems good. I'm going to give this a... I'm assuming they're going to probably add some kind of purple-yellow Animal Kingdom Pirates, Big Mom Pirates type thing going on here at some point. I don't know when, but that's the impression I get. Or maybe it'll be a Land of Wano type of leader. I have no idea. Well, no, then it wouldn't work with this because your leader has to be Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom type. But yeah, I think this is a solid card. I think that means we're going to be seeing a purple Big Mom Pirates type leader eventually. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be very interesting. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about this one in the comment section below. What can we read from this event? But overall, it's a 7. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So for searchers on a body, with like searchers that have a body included, I usually give a 7 out of 10. And events, I give a 6 out of 10 because they can still do a search, and it's typically cheaper, but it doesn't provide a body. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And yeah. Okay, next up we have Megaton Ninetales Rush. This is a 3-cost Foxy Pirates type main effect of if the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, set up to one of your Foxy cards as active. Wow. So this is almost like Uda's I'm Invincible, right? If the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, set up to one of your Foxy cards as active. Yeah, and then trigger, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Whew, I'm going 8 out of 10 on this. 8.5 out of 10. And that's it. So the next video we got the black cards. But yeah, so for purple, a lot of interesting cards. I kind of had the same vibe as red with purple, where like there were a lot of decent and solid cards, but not really that many cards that made me go, wow, this is crazy. This Megaton Ninetales Rush is going to be insane. I will say, like, this is basically I'm Invincible for like green Uda's I'm Invincible for purple Foxy. Very solid. Like this one's good. This one's interesting. Yeah, this event here. The slow beam stuff was pretty good as well. Very powerful defensive events. And it looks like they're starting off right with Foxy. Like, they gave them a lot of cards that are going to help. This Porsche card is just insane, or Porsche, whichever one it is. This card is absolutely incredible. Same thing with Foxy, just super lockdown. And, man, you could play these at the same time, couldn't you? You could literally, like, if you have 10 Dawn, you could just, boom, plop down Porsche to play out a card, plop down Foxy, and now activate main, add a card that you just, or add a Dawn that you just returned with, well, you probably wouldn't need to do that, but you get the point. Yeah, it does come in rested, by the way. But, yeah, just all kinds of good stuff here. This guy, Big Bun, I think I called him Big Gun. No, his name's Big Bun. That's funny. But, yeah, these cards just look crazy, crazy interesting. And, again, I'm starting to worry about class, like, color identity, like the uniqueness within each color, because it's like, okay, at first it seemed like green was going to have all this ability to rest characters and to just flood the board. Well, no, now blue has that, and black, and purple. Red has it in a different way, right? Like red has it in terms of like it can just fill the board out with 1-cost characters and whatnot. The cards that are searchers, you can just refill that way. And then I guess what's left? Yellow. Oh, wait, they can kind of do that too, I guess, like with the way they play cards from triggers. I don't know. I'm being a little bit facetious there, but y'all know what I'm saying. And y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below about that. And I don't know what it is, but which card was it? I'll talk about Sanji again in a second. Was it a cost 6 or less? No. It was the card I just went over. This guy playing out cards like this and Porsche and Big Bun. It's just like, wow. So this is giving you more and more opportunity to just blast out cards. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, let me see something real quick. On play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, play up to 1 Foxy Pirates type card with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So technically, if you have 6 Dawn, you could play this card, okay, and then play this card from that card, searching up something like this guy and playing him from the Porsche's effect. Am I reading that correctly? Because that seems really powerful. I'm not going to lie. It seems very, very powerful. And what were some other cards? I think there was one other decent one. Maybe this guy. Yeah, you could play this guy instead. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below about that, about the way Purple's going to be able to flood the board with the Foxy Pirate stuff. This Sanji card just looks absolutely incredible. I will say this was one where I was like, wow, that looks just awesome. The alt art's cool too, but I really like the way the main one looks. This Gina was excellent. Again, there were a lot of solid cards, like this Gina, this Chopper. Hamburg was okay. I didn't think he was that crazy, but he's okay. Pickles, Big Bun, like the whole Foxy Pirate. This card was really solid. So I will say that so far, just from what I've looked at from the first 4 colors, I would put green at the very top so far for the cards that are coming out. Then blue, then purple, then red. So yeah, it seems like it's low. Like it seems like purple's low on the list of the cards we just looked at. But at the same time, man, remember what was coming out for green and blue. I don't know. And again, maybe I'm overreacting on them. Y'all tell me in the comment section below. But I feel like green and blue just looked insane. All right, guys, I'm done rambling. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And yeah, next video we got the black cards. So I'm looking forward to that. That's my color in this game. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.